Hey everyone, okay, so today we're going to be talking about eye shape and how to really find yours. I did a video on this a couple of years ago and I still get a lot of emails asking me what my eye shape is. So I'm going to go through it with you as quickly and concisely as I can so that you can understand, because when you're copying an eye look, you need to take your eye shape into consideration and then make the alterations. So the very first one we'll talk about, of course, is a standard eye. I have a standard eye. Now, if you look at me face on, you can see my eyelid from here to the inner corner. That's a standard eye. And also a standard eye means that your eyes are not really far apart and they're not really close together. And you can tell if somebody has close set or wide set eyes very easily, because if they're close set, they're very, almost like really close to the nose. And if they're wide set, they're really far apart. So mine is a standard eye. And again, I can't stress this enough. If you can see your eyelid from outside corner to inside corner, it's just a standard eye, so it's easy. The next one, of course, we'll talk about is a hooded eye, because this is the most common eye shape. Now, again, this is how to tell if you have a hooded eye. If you can't see your eyelid at all when your eyes are open, you have a hooded eye. It's that simple if you can't see your eyelid. And the thing to think about with a hooded eye is what you want to do is minimize the hooded area, which is kind of here, this crease area. You want to kind of push that away from you. And the way you do that is by adding a darker color to the crease, and that will give the illusion that it's receding back from you. Also, say that your eye is completely hooded, then you could put a highlight color right here on the tear duct area. That would work great. Or you could, if you have a semi-hooded eye, which means say just this outside corner is closed, but you can see this inner portion, you could put the highlight color, the lightest shade on the eyelid that is showing. It's best to just keep the light color where you can see it. So that's, hooded eyes are very common. Don't worry about it. Sometimes with a hooded eye, where this skin fold here, the crease starts to turn down, it can make you look like you have downturned eyes. And I'll talk about that eye shape in a minute. But you can correct that easy. Just use a piece of tissue as a guideline by placing it underneath your eye at an angle. And then when you're blending your eyeshadow, blend it out so that it blends out and pulls out, and that will kind of lift it. So the next eye shape is wide set eyes, which is very wide set, which means the eyes are quite far apart. Very easy to see. Generally speaking, most models have wide set eyes. So Kate Moss, for example, very wide set eyes. So they're easy to spot. When you're doing a wide set eye, you don't want, well, you can do whatever you want, but you don't want to drag the eyeshadow too far out, because again, when you drag eyeshadow out, you're pulling the eyes apart and it can make it look, if you've got really wide set eyes, like you're from a different planet. So you might want to keep this shadow slightly rounder. And also if you darken this inner corner a little bit more, so when you're bringing your crease color, you bring it more in towards the nose, that can create a narrowing as well. So you can then pull it out, but bring it in, and that way it will kind of give balance to the look. But bizarrely, well, not bizarrely, but generally speaking, wide set eyes are considered to be the most beautiful. I think it makes no difference, but it's just the way it's considered. Who can say? Next is close set eyes, when your eyes are very close together. Now the way to gauge this is if you couldn't, however big your eye is, if you couldn't put it in the middle here and it wouldn't fit, you were considered to have close set eyes. And with close set eyes, what you want to do is bring them out. Again, you want to drag the eyeshadow out to meet the tail of the brow. That way it pulls the eyes apart. By highlighting this inner area, you can really get a great kind of opening up of the eyes. So it's a really good thing. It's really a good idea to brighten up this inner corner and to pull out eyeshadow with close set eyes, because it can just make them, it's one of the few eye shapes that hooded eyes you can transform really well. But with close set eyes, it's great because you just gives the illusion of pulling them apart when you drag it out and when the inner corner is lightened. So that's a good thing. The next eye shape is a droopy eye, where the eye goes down like this. It can make you look a little bit sad. Don't worry about it. They're actually really sexy to have slightly droopy eyes, I think. But way to correct it, and I'm just going to use the tissue again. You take the tissue, always start from the outside corner of the eye, just underneath. And when you're doing your eyeshadow, the crease, you're blending it out. That will lift, because you've got this at an angle, so you are lifting it up, and therefore it will pull the eyes apart a bit, but it will lift them, it will angle them up so that they don't look downturned. So you can do lots and lots of different things. One thing to point out is that, actually I'll talk about the next eye shape and then I'll talk about this. The next step is a very deep set eye, and a deep set eyes are set way back into the head. So you've got a lot of eyelid going back. The best thing to really waken up and open up a deep set eye is to put a light color all over the eyelid. This will open up the eyes. Also, with a really deep set eye, when you're doing any crease work, you want to put the crease color on the bone of the eye, the actual bone, because if you were to put it right into the socket, they would look like black holes going back into your head, so you wouldn't want that. So you put the crease color just on top of the bone, the actual brow bone, the socket here, but you place it on the bone area, and that will give you more balance. But definitely brighten up deep set eyes by applying lid color that's really nice and light, a bit shimmery, and that will really open them up. Now, you cannot have a hooded deep set eye, because a deep set eye goes back into the head, it's all lid. And with a hooded eye, you have no lid because you can't see it, because the skin fold is going over. So don't be saying you've got a deep set hooded eye, because it's not possible, because they're going back into the head. You can have a hooded eye that's wide set, or a hooded eye that's close set, or a downturned hooded eye, or a prominent eye, that shape that's hooded, but you can't have a deep set hooded eye. So, you know, just because I know you're going to email me telling me you haven't, I promise. Okay, another eye shape is the prominent eye shape, which is where you have very large eyes and they protrude slightly forward. The best thing to do if you don't like them, and I think they're really lovely, but if you don't like them, is avoid anything really shimmery, because anything that's shimmery and light will just bounce around and you'll be like looking at it like that. So concentrate on more matte colors, because they recede and they will make the area look a little bit smaller. And you know, that's why we contour under the cheekbones, to give the illusion that our cheekbones are receding, so that they pop out here more, by giving the illusion of this contour. So the same principle applies. Try sort of taupey colors, or anything that's in your spectrum that's deeper than your skin tone shade, but it's in a matte shade. But with a prominent eye, if it protrudes, there really isn't a lot you can do about it. So you can either focus on it, just think, put loads of mascara on, work it, whatever, just go for it. Or you can use those matte shades to really try and minimize as much as possible. Now, the other eye shape, which is very almond shaped eyes, and there's lots of different terms for this, and people will be like, you can't say that. But Asian eyes, almond eyes, some people call them hooded eyes, monolids. There's a myriad of different ways about them. You really want to treat them the same way you treat a hooded eye. But the only difference is, and some people call them flat eye as well, where it's completely flat, this area. It's a bit like drawing on paper, especially when you're young, because you can draw any shape you want on it. It's a flat surface. It's a wonderful thing to have, and is, again, like wide set eyes, almond eyes are considered to be very beautiful. Just think about it as a piece of paper. You can do whatever you want to them. You can fake in a crease, you can put the crease much higher than you want or much lower than you want. You can do anything you want. It's a travesty when people say to me, you know, I've got monolids, or I've got an Asian eyes, and I go to the makeup counter and they don't know what to do with me. It's awful, because it's the most beautiful shape, because you can do anything you want with them. Bear in mind, if you've got no lid at all, basically, when your eyes are open, if you just do like a black line, all it's going to look like is you've got black eyeshadow completely all over your eye. So using a push liner brush to really get into the root of the lash is the best way for that, to maximize any lid space that you may have. But again, especially when they're very almond-like, I think, go for it. Pull them out, make them more almond, make them more feline, go for it. There's this also thing that if you don't have a natural crease, you shouldn't create one because it's bad. You do whatever you want. No one cares. Whatever makes you happy. If you want to do a really cut crease, you can do that completely well. Go for it. Who cares what people think? Or you can do a really soft, blended out, diffused color, whatever makes you happy. I will do a separate video and a model dealing with almond shaped eyes and monolids and flat lids and all that kind of stuff. I will deal with it all separately because it's such a wonderful look. There you go. I hope this has helped some of you try and understand your eye shape. So just to clarify, standard eyes are where you can see the eyelid all the way from inner corner to outer corner. And they can be close set or wide set, but you always see the lid. Very important. Then there's wide set eyes, which are set wide apart. Close set eyes, droopy eyes where they look a bit sad, but they're gorgeous. Protruding eyes or very large eyes where they're very, very big. They're the whole focus of your face. Beautiful. And then you've got kind of deep set eyes where they go way back into your head. And as you get older, that tends to become progressively more as well. So lighten them up. And then of course, you've got the flat lids or the flat eye or the Asian eye or the almond eye, whatever. Fabulous. Do whatever you want with them because they are a playground of color. And that is all your eye shapes. Let me know what your thoughts are. Write them in the comment section below. Don't forget to rate because I ask you, but you don't do it. Sometimes it makes me cry. So I'll see you all next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Oh, and at the end, there is some videos to click as well, which are related to this video. So you can look through those as well and they open up a new window. Okay.